Question: what do Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates all have in common? They have all praised the Feynman technique as one of the ways they have effectively learned different things throughout their lives. So Richard Feynman was a famous physicist who created and proved an effective way to learn new subjects. This powerful method for learning and retaining new information is one that once you start using it, you can master any subject you want to master. Bill Gates has always praised the Feynman technique, and in an interview with Business Insider, he had this to say about the technique. I think the Feynman technique is really powerful. When you try to explain something to somebody else and you can't, that's when you really understand where your own understanding is fuzzy. Warren Buffett has stated that by using this technique, it has helped him to garner and enhance his skill of understanding complex and complicated financial concepts. So in this video, we're going to go over how you can use this technique so that you can study smarter, not harder. Well, in order to begin utilizing the Feynman technique, pick the topic you want to learn. Step 1. Study the topic and seek to understand it. Step 2. Explain the topic as if you were teaching it to someone else. Step 3. Find any gaps of understanding that you have. Then you want to highlight those and then go back to your material source and try to fill in your gaps of understanding so that you're totally clear. Step 4. You repeat this until you can explain the concept in a simple, clear way with confidence. So Feynman discovered that by breaking down complex topics into simple, easy to understand explanations, you're not only learning the material, but you're also getting a deeper understanding of the subject. You might be thinking, this all sounds great, but does the Feynman technique truly work? And the answer is yes, it 100% does. In a 2021 study published by Ricolito's Multidisciplinary Research Journal, they showcased that the Feynman technique was a technique that could help students in class and with remote learners as well. In this study, students in grades 4, 7, and 11 were randomly assigned to be either in the experimental group or the control group. Each group went through a pre-test and a post-test to showcase the effectiveness of the Feynman technique. And guess what? The results were astounding. It showcased that the experimental group who had used the Feynman technique for the post-test had higher test scores and retained the information better than the control group who did not use the technique. So let me give you an example of how you can use this technique. Say you have an important science exam coming up, and one of the topics that you are struggling with is photosynthesis. So how would you be able to implement this technique to help you remember the process of it? Well, you would start off by learning what photosynthesis is. Next, you would explain how it works as if you were teaching a classmate. And so as you're explaining what the process of photosynthesis is, you should take notes where you seem to be struggling to remember. This allows you to highlight the information that you need to go back and learn more about. And so by utilizing this process, you are strengthening the knowledge you already know while highlighting the parts you need to learn and study more in depth. This technique is very, very, very beneficial when used because by breaking down the topic you are studying into simple, easy to understand explanations, it literally forces you to actively engage in your learning. And by actively engaging in what you are studying, you're able to retain and recall the information better than just reading it off of a page. It also helps you highlight the trouble areas you have in the studying process, which in turn helps you study the stuff you don't understand versus the stuff you understand very well. So this is where you're gonna also save time. Now, one of the biggest things to remember is that this technique takes time and practice to master. Don't beat yourself up the first time you try it, because the more you use this technique, the better you're going to get at it. And then you're going to get to a place where you're able to break down complex topics into very simple terms. So as they say, practice makes perfect. The Feynman technique is one of the most popular studying techniques around the world. And best of all, you can use it beyond just your schoolwork. You can use it in your personal life. You can use it to learn any topic that you're interested in, like different languages, film history, and more. And so by being able to break down complex concepts into simple and easy to learn explanations, you can retain this information better and for longer periods of time. So give it a try and see how studying smarter, not harder, can save you time and curb frustration. Thank you so much for watching. Happy learning.